Ignored.
Yes, of course I ignore you. You're my players. I'm the DM. I'm in charge. Me! It's the Ollie show.
Actually makes you the bitch when you're the DM is the problem.
What the fuck you say about me? So,
Saying.
you spend the night. I should probably turn the rain noise off because it's no longer raining. Woo! It's one of those things where, okay, it's definitely going to be like misty wetness in the air, but it's not raining today. And honestly, you're all happy for it. You are waking up. You're going back to life. You have some breakfast. Again, very simple stuff. Probably spend a couple of copper on it, like 2 copper each. Not much. And then you start to setting out your plan for the day. And I already know you were planning because I told you to. I gave you a not so subtle hint. So, what are you doing today? You've been up for a little bit. You've had a little bit of discussions after Caitlin and Gilwyn had a heart-to-heart, and Vale pretended to be like a toddler, like pew 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 for a little bit.
Would you not do that?
I'm not judging. Well, I'm not. I'm judging, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I guess.
I'm judging, but I'd do the same in the same situation.
Yes.
I think we need to do what Vale and Caitlin wanted to do, which was check where this or who this seal belongs to.
But Gilwyn had just made a very valid point of why do we want that, and I think we pretty much settled on merchant background, and it was going to come around to we're looking to invest in the forge.
Cool.
Basically.
Great.
Actually,
Where are you?
I have specifically. I have a guild membership.
Yes,
Oh, do
you can
you?
actually
Like,
show that. You have a little writ, a little piece of paperwork.
Yeah. It's just to prove
Excelente.
that I am like a traveller and merchant sort of person.
Great. Okay. You're trying to find basically somewhere you would find records about forges. Go ahead and just give me investigation rolls. You're going out into the city doing it. This is the kind of thing in this city you all know that totally exists. That is a thing. Of course it's a thing. The dwarves like their paperwork. It's all good. Oh, this might be part of the reason why my internet's been shit today. Apparently Steam decided to start some downloads, even though it's set to not be downloading. Great job, Steam.
Can I just point out before we leave and do anything? We probably don't want to show this gun to the people at wherever we're going, right? So perhaps we should make a drawing or something of the symbol.
Well, we can make a wax rubbing of it.
Or wax rubbing, even better. Yeah, if we've got wax.
We just need to get the bits and bobs.
I think that's easy enough to do. Gilwyn also kind of remembers it. I wouldn't worry about that. That's
Sure.
that's kind of like just like busy work you could have done in the night. You could have been doing in the morning.
Yeah, just
Don't worry
making
about
sure
it.
you know that we're not.
You
going
have
to go in and show the
you
gun.
know yeah. I know that anyway.
I plant,
So-
I plant my thumb over the seal and press really hard and go, look, there you go.
The system works. So, Caitlin, you actually know the kind of place you want to go because you've been to these kind of places before, but not directly. Kind of like with your parents, with your background, with your life story. So, you very easily find a little kind of Hall of Records place. Is it the only Hall of Records in the city? No, it's probably there's a couple. Maybe it's like also part library, that sort of thing. You go up. Caitlin, you actually you start giving this spiel. You say, "Hey, I'm from this guild." Blah 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 blah. They don't pay any mind. They're like, "Yeah, okay, great, thumbs up. You're allowed in." They are a little bit like, "Huh, what's that guild doing here?" Whatever though.
Oh yeah, crap! I was supposed to do an investigation.
So, all of you do investigation here. For, you know, going through books, going through logs, all that sort of stuff. Vale, you beast. You might as well all roll, but, you know, honestly, what's the point?
Get more natural 20s! Maybe not.
So, Vale, you very easily find this. It's almost like the first book you get out here. Big old lore books. Probably, like, you could actually see, because this is kind of in the chamber, there's, like, dwarves with big, long beards that flow down their body, like, keeping all the records. The reason why you find this so easily...
But their beard.
Well,
It's just woven around them.
Maybe for a dwarven druid. That's actually almost a good idea. The reason why you find this so easily, very last page of this book, they're adding pages as they go, is one of the most recent seals added to this book of forges. It's a book of dwarven forges, not just in the city. It's actually all the dwarven forges that they know of. It does very quite clearly say not everyone's in here, but this is quite obviously there. It's like the second to last, most recent one, and it's Smolder Black Forge. You read it. It's in dwarven and then in common. So you're like, huh? Oh, and that the name obviously all rings a bell. You've all at this point heard of Smolder Black Forge from investigating in the city, and that really just cements the thoughts that either the guns are being made there or parts for the guns are being made there.
The place to go.
Yes.
And where was Forak? Or where is Forak right now?
Flame Churl. He's working for
Yes.
Flame Churl.
Yes. The Flame Churls, who I believe own Smolder.
Go ahead and give me a quick little history roll with advantage here, Caitlin, because you're in the place where you can actually look that up real quick.
Wow!
You are just bad.
Holy.
Nope. No, you're not. Okay.
I'm screenshotting that.
Terrible. That's horrible.
Brutal.
You are so useless, Arvine. Wow.
She has a brain aneurysm. She's like,
So, at least you got Smolder Black Forge out of it, and that really, like, it's one of those things you heard the name so much you weren't entirely sure what was going on. This just cements, like, okay, they are definitely making the guns or parts for the guns.
Think about it this way: you avoided a 1. It was
You
a
did
0.
avoid one.
I avoided a 0, yeah.
You did avoid a 1, yeah.
Also, at least that gets out of the way so that maybe a more useful roll.
Yes,
At least
maybe,
it gets
but
that
we
one out of the way
balance
so I
it.
can roll one of my many other ones.
Yeah, exactly. I have been rolling rubbish this session.
So what are you going to do with this information?
We will march upon Smolder Black Forge
With-
and take control.
We won't do that.
Maybe not level 1, you won't.
Caitlin spoils all the fun.
Like Vale is like, I guess we'll go and invade them, and like as a joke, Caitlin's like, no.
That said, we should probably go investigate it one way or another.
Basically, the question is, are you gonna like try and sneak in there? Are you gonna go in there as basically investors? I mean, again, like both of you are in your cloak, or whoever's wearing the cloak, which is still probably Caitlin at this moment. You look fairly fancy. You both look fancy, but you know what I mean.
Well, why don't we do both? We can have Caitlin and Gil go in as investors, and we can have Vale sneak in.
Yeah. I see
'Cause this
nothing
can't
wrong with
go
that.
wrong.
Yeah. Great.
just will these folks at Smolder Black suspect humans wandering about and an elf?
Well, the elf we're hoping to not be seen, but
Because we haven't exactly been quiet since we've been here.
it's true.
Look at Gilwyn being mature.
Well,
He's also speaking quite quietly in the library, which is responsible of him.
it depends how closely they're working with the Poachers Guild, I guess. The Poachers Guild certainly knows of us. And, well, that Dragonborn, don't know how much they're wrapped up in it. It might be dangerous, I can't deny that.
Basically, any member of that Poachers Guild are at this Smolder Black Forge, we may be a little bit fucked.
I think, though, that the Poachers Guild didn't really... It seemed... yes. I don't know, it's a difficult one. We need the information somehow, and I don't want to make Vale shoulder all the risk by trying to sneak into another place undetected.
I'm used to having to carry the team.
Wow.
Sorry, reference to my other D&D game, guys.
Yes!
We get it.
I am quite happy to take the risk. So Gil, you are more known to them perhaps than I am. They do know me, but I will go alone if you do not feel comfortable taking the risk.
Absolutely not, Caitlin. I am behind you 100%.
Aww. Ah.
I just grin at that. Looks like we've got a course of action then.
Okay! Handily enough, this book also tells you where it is. Not that that would have really been a problem anyway, because given enough time and enough effort, you can basically find anything that's not actively hidden, and this place isn't actively hidden. It's quite easy to find a forge in the Forge District, well, a new forge in the Forge District, newer building, newer signs, newer everything. One that's actually quite clearly not selling anything to the public. The Forge District is busy and smoky, and you guys haven't really been through here. Yeah, it's busy and smoky. It's way busier than the Noble District that's kind of like above it, because there's so much foot traffic, there's carts, there's occasionally actually like mine carts that are being wheeled along. There are the occasional actual little mine rail cart railway things around, but not very many. It's busy, but you easily find Smolder Black Forge. It is a fairly new building with a sort of Oi! Good moment. Everything will sort back out in a minute.
Well, on the way, I'd probably want to talk to Gil anyway to get our story straight.
Yes, so you easily find it. Go ahead and get your story straight in front of it. There's quite clearly like a main entrance. There's also one of these places where there's also clearly entrances around, other ways in. There's chimneys, several chimneys that are billowing black smoke like almost all the forges here are.
So Gil, are we going with the same story as when we investigated the market that I'm your bodyguard, or do you want me in more of an active role? I do have some experience as a merchant, so I might be of use.
I think what you said earlier was a good idea, because they probably are a little bit more aware of me. So I would like you to be the face of this operation this time, if that's okay.
Yes, I can certainly try it. It is a bit outside of my expertise, but hopefully my experience on the road will come in handy.
I'll grab her by the shoulders and give her some bardic inspiration.
Hey! It's one of those ones you grab and you feel like a warmth inside you.
And I'll sing, "You're the best around. We are gonna go to Smolder Black. You're the best." Yeah.
Bad. Oh, I love it. Okay.
I'm grinning at that, yeah.
So, Vale, I imagine you're going to break in a little bit after they go in and start doing their introductions, being a distraction, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, as they go in, I'm going on the roof.
Okay, great. We'll cut back to you in a minute then. You walk up into this place, go push open the doors, I assume. Well, there would be guards out, people outside who would open the doors for you very quickly. You kind of like go, we're here to see whoever's in charge. I want to see your manager. And very quickly, a black-haired dwarf fellow who, if you were Forak, would recognize as the boss of this place, the manager, Hornhall, comes up to you just like, "Hello, who are you? What do you need with my fine establishment?" Both of you make very quick perception rolls.
What, so perception rolls, did you say?
Yes, very quick perception rolls, and also, hello, how are you? Who are you? Gilwyn, you I don't know, the metal that they're working on looks very similar to the metal on the rifle. Is it the same parts? You really can't tell. It does strike familiar. Who knows? But yeah, he goes up and he's like, "Oh, hey.
Good day to you, Sir Dwarf. My name is Maria Laughlin, and we were hoping to perhaps that you're looking for investment in this forge. We've heard it's doing some quite interesting operations that we have some interest in to become business partners with you."
Who did you hear these from?
I'm afraid I can't reveal all my sources. I'm sure you must know that it would be bad practice for a businesswoman to do such a thing.
Go ahead and give me that cheeky little persuasion roll, Caitlin.
Go on, decent persuasion. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he like actually that that sparks something in him. He's like, yes, I understand. You want business partners? Please come inside. And he actually starts leading you towards the manager's office, which is a floor above most of the forge, outside of the smog and the smoke. Vale, go ahead and quickly give me an acrobatics roll for getting up on the roof.
Okay. Oh boy. Hey, I rolled a 10. I rolled a 10. I don't know what you're on about. It's a 10.
You do get on the roof, Vale. And you're looking away for ways inside. And for some reason, you feel the urge to go down a chimney. This chimney isn't on. You can maybe you can climb down it and find a place to go from there in the roofs and the rafters, right? That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but I have to hold my breath and close my eyes.
Yes. So you almost don't realize when you fall into the main room of the forge. You don't fall into the molten metal like someone did a couple of days ago. You guys are walking up the stairs to the manager's office, and you hear, again, there's not actually a yell, but there is a oof as a gangly solar elf falls from the ceiling.
I'm covered in soot.
Covered in soot, like a cloud of smoke comes up, and then a couple of metal beams and everyone stops, and you actually hear a whistle probably to stop doing everything right now. There's been a disaster again. And the hornholder just quickly actually reaches for a dagger. What is this?
I am from the council as a special investigator due to recent complaints about the soot coming from your chimney. And I have to say, it is not up to scratch.
Go ahead and give me the mother of all deception rolls. I'm willing to give you a chance on this. Because, fuck me, that's funny.
Oh boy. Oh no.
You say this, and then, people, 4 dwarves around you just sort of, all step forward at the same time with, their hammers. The manager's, sees completely through that. And actually kind of looks at these 2 humans side by side of him. And... He's very worried all of a sudden. The worry is not in the rest of the other dwarves. Whatever's going on, they don't seem to notice. Or don't know the meaning of it.
I just look on with confusion for the time being.
I don't know who told you to come here, but you'll find nothing here. If you leave now, maybe I'll let you leave with your life. This guy says, quite far away from Vale and only having a dagger on him. In fact, the workers who are nearby who just seem pissed that someone interrupted their work are far more dangerous, but don't understand what's going on.
I am going to... oh boy. I'll get myself up.
Yeah.
Pat myself up.
It doesn't help.
I'll start walking towards the door, towards the exit. The council will hear of this. You watch, you wait. Not only have you failed to meet the regulations, you have also... And I'm out the door.
I would just turn to the manager and be like, is that a common occurrence around here?
He looks at you two. Both of you give me a deception roll real quick. This isn't a talking, this is just sort of a how suspicious do you look right now? That's good. He kind of looks at you and is very his hand's still on the dagger. And he's twitchy. This guy is clearly not a warrior. He's a manager in a forge and is very clearly doing very shady shit and is becoming more and more paranoid about it. This is the second weird thing that's happened. Tell me who you're from. Now! Immediately! Snap, snap, snap.
We come on behalf of a particular house in the Elven Lands. I'm afraid I cannot reveal.
Telling the truth? What?
I am afraid that I cannot reveal their name to you just yet, because it would, if word got back to Aradia, it might be quite dangerous for them.
You immediately hear, like, you don't even finish your sentence, all the workers are actually listening to this conversation. You hear many people like, oh, we're not making these for any old elves. No, we don't want to elves. You get out of and the manager just kind of like, is like, you will get out of here, or I will blow your head off.
Are you sure?
And he starts walking to the office.
For you.
Give me a persuasion roll, but it's incredibly unlikely. But then, stranger things.
Inspiration.
It's almost like when you. I imagine it's quite profitable for you, and you jingle a coin purse.
Yeah.
And he stops and turns. Everybody get back to work! We have orders to fulfill! You two come into my office. And he walks in, and very clearly, like, yeah, he lets you walk in. He quite clearly goes to his desk, takes something from the desk. You're fairly sure it's a pistol. And, like, sort of, like, puts it in the inside of his, like, coat type thing. And he doesn't sit at the desk, he kind of stands behind it. He actually leans on it, quite similar to how Valvorian did quite a while ago. But lots of people do that, especially when they're stressed. How much are we talking about?
Well, it would be an order of magnitude higher than you are receiving from anyone in the Dwarven lands, that is for certain. Just because of the difficulties of getting such a thing in the radio at the moment, and for the Dwarven craftsmanship. I cannot give you precise figures at this time, but we will reward you handsomely if you can arrange this quietly.
Okay, so while this is going on, Gilwyn, what are you doing? Are you just kind of staying there, seeming like I'm another one of them? Are you going to be? You have a view from a window. Are you going to be looking around at the forge, trying to get more information? Are you going to look around the office? What do you want to do while this conversation is happening?
I'll actually double down on what Caitlin just said,
okay.
And I will take out my gem that I have.
Ah.
And I'll go several more and just put it back.
He looks at it, sees the gem, and then his man's like, you are very... If I do work with you, you'll have to keep absolute secrecy. What I do is not to be traded with other dwarves, not outside the dwarven lands. If Flame Churl finds out that I am selling their goods, I will not survive their questioning.
Of course, we would expect no less. It would be as dangerous for us as it would be for you. You can expect utmost secrecy on our part.
And now I'll walk to take a look at the forge.
Give me a quick old perception roll with advantage, because you can actually see everything from up here aside from sort of loading area, which is below the office.
Perception?
Yes.
Okay.
You quite clearly see, I mean, from here it's very easy to tell. You can actually see where they are manufacturing both the pistols and the rifles, the first ever real pistols and rifles in the world, in the corner. It's a kind of like, they're making basically one at a time, very sort of awkwardly and slowly, but they are doing it. And what you notice even more, there's a dip and a bit of a under basement area that appears to be where you actually see like a dwarf come up and bring a bag out, and the bag sort of spills a little bit into those little paper packages of fire powder. You can't see it's fire powder from here, but you know what those paper packages look like. And he kind of like goes up and recloses the thing and like it's just not clearly probably wasn't meant to be doing that while people are around, but whatever. You can never get the staff nowadays. While this is happening, him and Caitlin actually have a conversation about money. The figures involved are almost unimaginable to you people. But he'll say, it's like, shipments to the Elven lands will be risky, blah, 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 blah. Basically, come back another time with the money. And actually some kind of assurance that this is true. He's still not actually believing you, really.
Yeah.
He's like willing to believe because there's a lot of money in it, and from piecing things together, you can all tell he's already been doing this. He's not meant to. These are made for Flamechurl, made by Flamechurl, almost like they are being hired by Flamechurl to make the actual weaponry. But he is selling them, and he absolutely shouldn't. He's selling them to the Panther Company and probably other people as well. So he's willing to do it, but yeah. But the money may be mistaking his common sense real quick. You know? But you have this conversation. It is very businessy. Caitlin knows how to talk business to merchants. So that conversation actually goes rather well. We're not going to have the whole conversation, but yeah.
I'm glad, because I don't think I could.
No, no. Afterwards, you can maybe on your way out, he does start escorting you out. Maybe Gilwyn would give you a tap and a nod to like where that hatch is. And it's one of those things. It's sort of behind things, but you can quite clearly see there is a hatch there. It is covered by some very easily movable stuff, but he'll probably tell you what that means later.
Yeah, as he sort of sees us off, I would just stick out a hand and smirk slightly. To a profitable relationship.
Yes, to profit. Quite. I mean, he's not the most warrior-y man, but clearly he's been working in forges all his life. That is a strong handshake. And you can leave, and I don't know where Vale is, but I imagine he can easily find you when you've left.
Yeah.
Literally round the corner, leaning against the wall, covered in soap. How did it go?
She was amazing. She flabbergasted that guy. She spoke better than I did. She spoke better than you did. She was amazing.
I do. You're flattering me, Sir Gil. It was just. I have experience as a merchant. It's somewhat natural to me. I couldn't do it off the top of my head to someone in an area of expertise I do not know of.
So we found the flame powder.
Oh yes.
We secured it. We bought some.
Not exactly.
I will say the actual deals he was making with Caitlin, it's like you buy the weapons, you also buy the powder in parts, but it's mainly for the weapons, you know? They're useless without the powder, and you can't use just normal gunpowder with them either. So
after his suspicions, he was rather on guard. I don't know if he fully believed us in the first place. It was only the promise of money that stayed his hand at all. But we at least we know who is producing this stuff now at the very least, and we do have some powder from that Lord Agast already had.
So now regarding our contract, do we take a sample of both a few pistols, a rifle, an amount of this fire powder, and then blow the place to hell and leave? What is the
Lord Agast did not specify any destruction of this industry. He wanted information. I believe it would be good to hear what Forak has for us once he's been working there for a while. But I think in a lot of ways we have perhaps we could do with some more of these items, with some more powder. I do not think it's going to be easy to obtain. But if we had some more of those and any information Forak has, we might well be able to return to Lord Agast our task done.
Could we not burgle the forge? You say there is powder here, yes?
Yes, you are certainly most welcome to.
Yeah. Sackloads. They have a hatch.
Sackloads of the stuff?
Presumably.
Well, it would certainly be easy to blow the place to hell if needs be.
No one's blowing anything.
Is the elevator?
I just smirk at Gil.
These men, they were our employers. They're threatened by this newfangled weaponry, right? Hmm? You want to know more about it so that they remove the competition. What if we take the initiative?
By murdering a...
I'm sorry, I am...
Well, if we blow it up at night when they all aren't working...
I am not willing to take that risk. It has taken me years to build up my position in Lordigast's employ. I would rather take the slow and steady route and complete his assigned task to the best of my ability than to try and get a step ahead and.
Slow and steady wins the race.
You say that, but you've been working there for years, and look at your, well, you're still working there, is what I mean.
Yes, but this is the first large job that Lordigast has trusted me with. I do not want to mess it up. If you decide to do anything like that, you will have to go through me to do it, I'm afraid, Vale. And I do not I do not obviously want to come into conflict with you. That is, I simply will not.
Obviously you do not, Caitlin. That is fine. But it is also a bit of a hollow threat, no? You have no means to watch me all the time. Neither do I have the care to go and blow it up if you say we should not do that. You hopefully know your employer better than us. But I will say, if he does not pay me as handsomely as promised, well, let's just hope he never finds himself on the high seas, eh? I'll kill him.
I'll just
kill
have
him
my
very horribly.
I'll just have my hand on my forehead, head slightly down there. You are quite right, Vale. I cannot physically stop you unless you won't endanger our position here.
Oh,
And
it might
if
make
you
it
do,
difficult
I
for us
will
all to get out of the city.
If you were to do something like that, I would, of course, disavow any idea of your actions. I cannot have you jeopardizing my position.
I'm just interpreting our employer's intentions.
No, I quite understand that, but I do not believe it would be a good course of action to take.
We've already made a lot of noise. The last thing we want is literal explosion.
This is true. It would be quite easy for them to trace it back to four strangers in the city who had been asking inconvenient questions.
Okay. So, where do you go from here? It's not all that late in the day. Do you go out to the tavern? Do you wait for Forak all day? What do you intend to do? I know your plan is basically find whatever information Forak has, hope it's basically the other side of this.
I mean, in the meantime... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say much. I was only going to say the only other thing I think we can do at this point is to try and get our hands on more of the merchandise, basically.
Yeah,
and the only way I can see of doing that is Vale stealing it, basically.
Yeah, I was going to say, in the meantime, we could do a nighttime heist, providing that they don't work 24/7.
Well, either way, I imagine you're going back to the tavern right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that is your base of operations, the Lazy Elf Inn. With the Vale, the sign on this place is so racist. It is... I can't describe it. It hurts a little. Although Vale might find it a little funny. So, you go inside, you plan. I imagine that Vale is starting to plan maybe the idea of having a little bit of a heist. Whether or not you're actually going to do it, he likes the idea of planning it. You're talking about the inside of this building. It's kind of a mid-afternoon. The door opens, and the door's open every now and again. People do frequent this tavern, just not very long.
Going upstairs.
And inside is a Forak sort of shumbling and
God.
sitting at your table quite heavily, and then realizing, and then getting back up, going to the thing and like, fill this with shit. And go.
Hello.
Welcome back, Sir Forak.
Yes.
What have you been up to?
I have something to show you. Well,
Uh-oh.
not like last time, Gilwyn. They put me somewhere. It's where they get it.
Get what?
The powder.
Ooh.
The cavern deep in the mountain. They're trying to build some road. May found this place and Flame Churl took over and own it and make the powder. They're trying to make me make it. This is the worst Forak impression, but it's a very hard voice to do.
It's working.
North. Road going north. It all comes together again. This is the other side of the production. They've got the guns being made in the forge and the powder being made under the mountain.
Yeah, put your hood up, Ali. Come on.
Oh yeah! Woo! I'm Forak. Alright,
Other eye.
Oh, it's this eye.
No, it's other eye.
On my screen it's this eye.
Is it? Well, I guess Dadrick will have to.
Doesn't really fit because I have headphones on, but whatever. He's got a big head. He's a dwarf.
He does have a big head.
Yeah. The Forak. Yeah.
So maybe we don't need to do a heist in a building. In this case.
Quite possibly. I mean, we've got just about everything except more of the goods or plans to make them. But I think pushing it that far would be extreme.
I mean, yeah, we could potentially. I mean, if they're making them in the forge, they must have the plans somewhere.
Logically.
Every worker cannot.
What are they making where?
The pistols, the actual pistol itself, that Smolder Black Forge you mentioned.
Oh.
That's where they make it.
Whoa.
They cannot expect every single employee to memorize the plans to what is presumably quite a complicated series of
Dwarves
steps
keep plans. In
to
case need to
produce-
hire new dwarves.
to produce a pistol. Forak clearly agrees.
Yeah.
In
If
which
you are-
case, we need to steal the plans, or a set of them, and some of the fire powder.
If you want to find... Call it Echoing Deep, his shit name. His deep cavern, it echoes. Any cave echoing deep. You go through tunnel, the north road, in mines to the east of city. Near Flame Churl's base of operations. Not attached, you walk in open to it. You'd have to hide, but you go there. I'm going to go back to work, not raise suspicions. Might make it easier for you to enter, maybe forget to lock some doors. There's scary woman who work there. If she find you, you'll have problem. But getting plans for pistols, stupid name, makes sense. Maybe if you go to Echoing Deep, stupid name, you can find the plans we're using to make the powder. It's not a powder. It's a liquid they make into powder. Found liquid underground.
Liquid.
Boiling, hot.
This is outside of my area of expertise, but if we could bring back the plans as well, that would certainly be the best possible outcome, I feel, for Lord Aghast.
That would be perfect.
So we need to get the plans for the guns, and the plans for the powder, that is a liquid, from two separate areas. I suspect the forge will be much easier to break into and steal from.
Forak, is it possible to contain this liquid? Or is it converted right then and there?
They take it from pools. Could get jar, vat, small.
Is that Forak? Gilwyn is going to have to drink 20 liters of it?
Forak, give me one of your flasks.
My flasks.
But I need something to contain the liquid. I want to steal some of it.
You've had a long day. I need sleep. Don't do anything without telling me.
I'll just tell him to adjust his. I'll just do like a gesture to him.
And he goes up to his room. And yes, Scott, Forak isn't entirely sure on this, but he is telling them where it is, because you're not here, and I'm telling you.
It's the right eye.
Look, cameras flip, reality, the whole thing. It looked right from my end.
Just saying, I clearly know Forak better than you.
Well,
We're close. We're close. Done some male bonding.
My favourite.
I say we would. Forak told us not to do anything without telling him. I think that we should go without telling him and go and steal the plans from the forge.
He clearly wanted to come with us, if that's the case, and he doesn't seem to be in a great state to do so.
He was a little droopy.
He can come with us.
He wasn't quite himself for some reason.
He will be there during the stealing of the alchemical plans. We need him for this, yes?
I can't say I like going behind his back, but he did say that...
It is not behind his back, it is merely being efficient. He would approve. You know what he would say? He would say, "Oh, Dwarven, efficient, good."
He is aware of our ideas at least, so...
It's an impression of an impression.
I will, yes, this is fine.
Let's do it.
In the first place, how are we going to do this? Because, to put it mildly, I am not an expert in sneaking or stealing anything. And I would rather not be involved in the stealing, but I don't know if you can do it alone there, or...
You took the job, you will help.
Oh no, I'm quite happy to help. Just tell me something I would be good at helping with, because I am not quiet and able to hop across roofs.
You carry stuff.
Okay, point me where you need me.
If you hadn't noticed, last time we were there, I very carefully scouted out the chimney. Now, when the forge is not burning, I can slip in the chimney that way. Open the front door. You can come in. We can steal the plants, and we can leave.
I suppose the best plans are the simple ones. This is assuming that it does close down for the night, and
it will, but there may be some guards, I suppose.
Who would guard their business at night? Especially when several suspicious things have happened. Who would do such a thing?
Not Ollie, that's for sure.
What can I do? I look really excited.
Gil. Ooh. You come with me, and you look out.
Look out.
Yes, you watch, and you see where the guards are. You go. Caw! Caw! If guards come.
Okay. And I'll do a much more beautiful sound than Vale just did.
Must have finger up when you do it, like this.
Caw! Like that?
Just one finger.
Yes.
That sort of sound?
Now other hand. Very good. Very good.
Yes. Told you perfectly. Absolutely. Okay. So, it's basically nighttime. If any of you go to check on Forak, you can hear him in his room just like... like grunting, as he
I believe
often
it's more
does.
of like a.
Yes. It's an angry grunting. It's an angry but purposeful grunting.
An
Best way
anger
to
wank.
describe it. It's an anger wank. So, the important thing, people. Are you going to the forge? How? I imagine it's obvious you want to go at night. You know, it's that kind of thing. Are you going to go tonight? You mean, basically, right?
Logistical question. How long does Bardic Inspiration last?
Ooh,
Before
I want to say it's like an hour. I
think
have a
it's an
book
hour.
here, but I'm going to say it's an hour.
sure mine's worn off at that anyway.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I'll check, but it won't change much. Just gonna have some nice book noises real quick. 10 minutes. It is 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
Yep.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
It does make sense. It's a heat in the moment thing more than anything. I want to say guidance lasts a little longer, but it's not as strong. Right. So. You'd have to inspire them again beforehand or during. So.
I'm very good during.
Okay.
I'm done. Goodbye.
Okay. Are you going to Smolder Black Forge, folks? To steal? I mean, what?
Yes. Absolutely.
You go there around about nighttime. Weirdly enough, the dead of night, and dwarves actually stay up pretty late, mostly because they're working a lot and they don't sleep as much. So, I imagine you actually spend a couple of hours sort of hanging around the Forge district until not just Smolderback Forge is shut down, but the ones near it. Just so absolutely everything is out of the way. Some forges do go all through the night. This one doesn't. Immediately you notice there are guards at the door. Assumedly... No, wait. They have panther patches. They're from the trapping company.
Okay.
Again, two of them. Two ladies. Maybe it's the same two ladies from the other place.
Mm-hmm.
At night, the smog isn't as bad. But again, it's night, so it's kind of hard to see. But this Dwarven City is mostly lit. Lots of lantern light. You can make your way pretty easily. You can tell the forge is shut down. It's still warm around here. There's actually... The forge is shut down. There's still light from inside. But you probably wait for a little while and that light doesn't go out. And considering there are guards outside, and they're not just waiting at the door, they occasionally go around the building, but you're kind of staying far enough back that they don't notice you. That's the whole thing.
They occasionally go around the building.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a choice. Can you either give us a floor plan of outside the building at the moment? You can fill in inside later if necessary. Basically, how many entrances / exits?
There are straight two
how long
entrances
does
to
it
this
take
building
them
from
to
the
patrol?
outside. There is the front door, and there seems to be a loading door. They're actually pretty close, so like the front door is on the broad side of the building, and then it's like there is the loading entrance, and then it's like the whole rest of a rectangle. But it's not a perfect rectangular shape. How long it takes them to go around the building? They're really ambling. Probably no longer than 5-10 minutes, but only ever one of them goes wandering around at a time, and they don't. Occasionally, they do both hang around at the door. They're clearly like they're guarding, but they aren't hired guards. They aren't doing the best job. They are just keeping sort of watch.
Okay.
In fact, one of them actually have a lantern in front beside the front door, just sort of sitting on a chair. So it's very obvious that they're there.
So basically, I go in, I open the loading door while they aren't on patrol. Hopefully we do this all silently enough for you guys to roll in. We close it. Gilwin's on lookout to tell us when they aren't patrolling by, when they last patrolled by.
Or might I suggest Gil even tries to completely distract the two of them?
Gil would need to then distract them for a long time, but maybe Gil doesn't come in.
I wouldn't want to go in.
Gil can wait outside. And then after 10 minutes, after 15 minutes, when Gil notices, so 15 minutes presuming that we will have finished whatever we're doing with plenty of time by then, we'll be waiting by the loading bay door. After 15 minutes, when Gil then notices one of these people finish their patrol, as in they aren't patrolling past that door or very close to it, you go, nice and loudly, and we hear you, and then we know that's the time for us to open loading bay door and skedaddle. I would say that would be the best plan for it.
Yep. Sounds like it might even work.
It might, if Ian wasn't involved.
Yeah, if it isn't partially reliant on me.
Uh-huh.
So, you're sneaking in, correct? What, same way as last time? I didn't have myself muted for any suspicious reasons at all.
Didn't have yourself.
You didn't have yourself muted.
I don't mute myself on your end because that doesn't make
right.
any sense, does it? Muting Skype doesn't mute the recording. You monkeys.
It might.
It
Makes
don't.
plenty of sense to me.
It don't though. So, you absolutely can climb onto the top of the building, Vale. Well, we'll see what the dice have to say, of course.
Is that a thing? I didn't think we consorted dice. I thought we just like, yeah, that's fine, and then we did it.
That's completely legit.
Right, let's see. Acrobatics. Hey, I've learned.
What is a roll? Awesome! Okay, as Vale vaults onto the ceiling, with ease! You've done it before, you know it. You probably show off a little bit because these two are watching, and you're like, I can climb. You go and you swoop through over the roof, down into their chimney. We'll see what happens after a quick break.
Yeah, as I disappear into the chimney, I'm like... Then he's gone in.
Okay. I'll see you real quick for the last hour of the Ollie Power Hour.